Hello crafty friends, it's Antonia here today with the final challenge for Bramble Fox for International Scrapbooking Day, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my challenge, what inspired me to come up with the mood board for the challenge, and then I'm going to do basically a second layout as a process video because I've already completed one, which you can see on the screen now. So the mood board was inspired by sort of recent events in the scrapbooking world. There has been a lot of talk about is scrapbooking slowly dying out, you know, how to continue with this craft and how to keep it alive, and it made me think what it means to me, and my conclusion was that it is primarily, yes, it's a hobby, but also I was thinking about the human relationships it opened to me, my journey in scrapbooking, the people I've come across, I met along the way, the relationships or connections I have been cultivating, and really just how meaningful these are for me. So on the mood board you can see friendship related photos or images. I included some florals, which for me is a must on any and every layout. There's a camera for photo taking. There's a couple of quotes which I find quite inspiring sometimes, and I do include them on some layouts. There's also a more of a travel themed image, which is this one here, which I was thinking about the sort of the international nature of this craft and how we meet people all over the world that we wouldn't otherwise. There's also hearts, which is another must for me, and I went for a color scheme which I quite like, and also it is quite girly, so there's loads of pinks and oranges in it, but there's also beige and a grey or more of a stone color, and blue if you want to go for a masculine layout. So really lots of inspiration to choose from. So just to talk a little bit about my layout, I've included the screenshots for all of my current design team memberships, obviously these four. I really like this title, Perspective, My Kind of People. I thought it went really well with the photos and with the layout, so I added that in the middle. And then I used Vicky Butin's latest collection, Discover and Create. I really like this sort of like the text, printed text background, which, you know, you've got like the quotes on the mood board, so you can, you know, that inspired the background. I included loads of arty crafty things, florals of course, the camera and this viewfinder or color palette, however you want to interpret it. Lots of scissors, so we've got a couple here. We've got a little Bramble Fox scissors, pair of scissors over there, and I just created little clusters, as you can see, in a grid format, and I completed the layout with lots and lots of small Bramble Fox perspectives. So this one, which came from the International Scrapbooking Day collection, I really like this one, and actually this went quite well. I know that this purple is not on the color scheme of the mood board, but I had a couple of that purple tone already on the layout, so I decided to include that one. It actually brought in and blended in these colors quite well. You've got the visual triangle around the title, and it also allowed me to bring these little purple heart perspectives in. So that's it, and I'm going to basically, for my next layout, I'm going to be using whatever I've got left over. I want to, oh, where's my photos? Yes. So I am going to be documenting in like a double page journal format the first ever crafty weekend I attended, which was last November's. It was a Paper Fox event. I have scrapbooked this photo already, so I'm not going to do a full layout out of it, but I am going to be putting it in one of my journals. So I will be creating 2 smaller pages, and I'm going to be including all the details, which was that was my table set up. This was on day 2. I started the day with 2 cups of coffee, and some food from the day and from the previous day, which is, I'm sorry to say, is important for me. So I just wanted, it looked lovely, so, and it tasted lovely, so I just want to just sort of make a note of that in my journal. So there's I'm picking up on these shades of blue, so I will be including this travel craft case, which will go quite nicely in here somewhere. I've got another blue item left, which is the little shape punch, and then I was thinking about, for the title, rather than "We Are Two of a Kind," which is my remaining title perspective from the International Scrapbooking Collection, I'm not going to be using that. Instead, I'm going to be using this title from the April 2024 Bramble Fox box, which is Weekend Shenanigans, and it goes perfectly with the other 2 perspectives. I've got lots left from the cutter pot, so I might cut some of these out or use the little phrases from the snipper part sheet, I think it's called. And then these are the leftover speech bubbles, and I was thinking about using, I'm not sure how these will go, but probably these will actually go quite well with the with these photos, because there are these sort of reds popping up here and there. And stop, Julie's glasses, there's something red in here on this photo, so it might actually go quite well. Stash Addict, which is basically all of us. And the other one I was going to use is The Enabler, and I'm going to be putting that next to Morag. And then give me snacks, which is going to go with the foodie bit. And I might actually use some of these, but I just don't want to introduce too many colours, so I'm just going to go with these ones to start with, and then we'll see how we get on. So that's the plan. I'm just going to start with my layout, and I'm going to speed it up and just do a voiceover. So the idea is to do a pocket style double page 6x8 layout, and the left side going to be a full 6x8, and the right side is going to be 1 6x4 at the bottom and 2 3x4 at the top. And I want to keep the background quite neutral, so I'm just flicking through some double-sided cardstock where you've got the solid color on the one side, and there's like a tone-on-tone wood grain pattern on the other side. So this is from Hip Kit Club. I used Hip Kit Club kits for this layout, and I just kind of mixed and matched them a little bit. So for the little travel craft case, I found a suitable place quite easily, and in here I'm just making a start on the full 6x8 page, and I just accidentally came across that sort of orangey hue on white subtle patterned paper with the stars on, and I quite liked how that went with the photo. It wasn't a full 6x8 size, so I just trimmed it down a little bit. I edge punched one side, and then I just adhered it onto a plain pink cardstock. And I'm really liking how that title perspective sits on the layout, and how the loop of the K is slightly taller than the rest of the letters, so I can just kind of tuck the photo in that little crevice. And I'm adding a frame, which I quite like the colours of. The colours go really well with the colours on the photo, and it will bring together the colours I'm using on both sides of the layout, and I backed it with a bit of vellum. So I've already chosen a journaling card for one of the 3x4 pockets, and in here I'm just choosing a pattern paper to go in the other pocket. And I chose this colour very carefully. This is going to be like a fold out pocket insert, and the colours on this paper are not only tone on tone, but they are also graded. So at the top, the background colour is more of a slightly cooler tone of lighter pink, and then it gradually goes into a warmer colour, deeper darker pink at the bottom. And I just thought that it brought together the cool pink background on the left hand side with the warmer reddish pinkish tones of the speech bubble perspectives. So it was just perfect for this layout. So I added lots of florals in little clusters throughout the 2 pages, and I'm backing some of these with foam adhesive just to create a bit of a depth to the embellishment clusters. I added a couple of the reddish pink speech bubbles. I wanted to add them on the left hand side page, both of them, but that didn't work out very well. So I ended up bringing it over to the right side to the 6x4 pocket. And I actually quite like how that works out and ties the 2 sides of the layout together. And I'm adding the little shape punch next to the title perspective. I would have preferred to put something of a different colour, but I already used the pink shape punch perspective, so I was left with the blue, and actually I quite like how in the end how it worked out. I cut lots of different shapes out from the paper snips sheet, and I'm just scattering these around and adding them to the embellishment clusters. So lots of fiddling with florals going on, which is not unusual for me. But we're coming towards the end of the process video. I'm just putting some final bits and bobs on. I will be adding journaling to the 3x4 journaling card, and also possibly some more private thoughts to go behind the 6x4 card, which is also a flip out card. So thanks so much for watching my process video. I hope you find my mood board inspiring, and happy International Scrapbooking Day, Foxy friends. Bye now. Oh yes, and be sure to be playing along with our International Scrapbooking Day challenges, because there are lots of goodies and prizes up for grabs. Have a good day. Bye now.